personally, I appreciate about your current practice that divorce isn't always the right solution. But don't
No,
try to navigate this decision alone. Work with someone like you who's you've been in the trenches with your clients, and now you're approaching it from a completely different vantage point.
100%. And my message to everyone that I work with is the same. I I don't want to push you into a divorce. I don't want to push you into staying married. My goal for my clients is to help them make a decision. Because once you make a decision, all of a sudden the weight of the world comes off of your shoulders and you can take action in one direction or another. The worst place to be is in indecision. So if you can't figure out, oh, is my marriage working? Should I stay? Should I go? I don't know. I don't know. And you're open to working on the marriage and your spouse is open to working on the marriage, go do that all day long. Because if you go do that and you put your all into it and you really go all in and it doesn't work, then you're going to be able to leave with a clean heart and say, this just wasn't meant to be. But if you still have those, I don't know, yes, no, should I, shouldn't I, when you're in that space of indecision, that's when you pay the price. That's when you lose energy. That's when you're not, psychologically or emotionally clear. You start losing focus. You start losing confidence. People don't understand the toll that being in indecision takes on your own personal confidence. Well, you can't be a leader of a business and, be unconfident. That doesn't work really well. People have to believe in you. You have to lead. They have to trust you. They're not going to do that as much when you're like, oh, I don't know, or your anger or your upset is spilling out over into everything else you do. I mean, the indecision is the killer.
Yeah, absolutely. Seen it, done it, been there myself. And there's so many reasons why people get stuck. People are stuck in fear. They're stuck in codependency. Some of your interviews, as I listen to your podcast, you've got so many great points of view from people who said, I was stuck, and here's why. I was married to a narcissist. He didn't know that he was until I knew clearly that he was. I had to get out. I couldn't figure out how to get out. He's manipulating me. Well, maybe I should stay because then. So your podcasts have been so enlightening. I think the people you've had on bring their personal stories.
Right.
It's such an enlightening podcast. I would strongly recommend it to anyone who's listening to this and feeling indecisive and sitting
Yeah.
on the fence, because you're going to relate to Karen's guests. You're going to relate to the stories that Karen's guests are telling. They're fairly universal. I think you could probably boil it down to just a few common sticking points. It's for the kids. It's for the whatever it might be.
Yeah. There's a few recurrent themes, I should say. And what keeps people stuck is typically number one, fear of the unknown, uncertainty. I don't know how this is going to go. And somehow um, they think that when they're not sure how things are going to go on a personal level, that's different than a business decision. But if you think about it, as you're deciding when you're good, are you going to buy this franchise? Are you going to take a certain business action that will take resources, take time, take money, commit to this? You never know what the outcome is going to be. There's always uncertainty. It's just that when the uncertainty is on a personal level, it feels different, right?
Yeah.
And that's what locks people up. Or the other thing that keeps people, it keeps people stuck is their kids. You're right. I don't want my kids to experience a broken family. I don't want to mess them up. I don't want them to become, juvenile delinquents. I don't want them to hate me, right? Which is something that people often have a hard time articulating, but it's the relationship with their children that they're worried about as much as are their children going to be okay, right? And especially if they're older, they're worried about that relationship and the impact it'll have on them. And then the third thing that gets people all bound up is It's what I call a values conflict. And that is, I believe in marriage. I said I was going to stay married till death do I part, and now I want to get a divorce and I'm not dead yet. So what happened? I can't do this, right? I am not the kind of person who gets a divorce. And you might have felt that too. And it's not until you can, in your own, not only just your head, but in your being, reconcile those two conflicting values that you can actually move forward and do something, right? And get the divorce or commit to making the marriage work unless it doesn't.